The Price of Friendship. In the year 2147, humanity had conquered the stars, and space travel was as routine as a commute. Jason Cole, a junior engineer aboard the Nomad, research vessel stationed on the far edge of the Proxima system, had always thought of his crew as his family. He wasn't particularly charismatic, but his skills with quantum mechanics had earned him a spot on a very prestigious crew. Maya, a brilliant exobiologist with a sharp wit, had always been his closest friend. Together, they spent countless hours discussing everything from ancient Earth cultures to the latest advancements in synthetic biotechnology. Derek, the ship's communication officer, always had Jason's back during these late night shifts. Even Commander Sophia, a no nonsense leader, had treated him like a trusted peer. At least that was what Jason had believed. Everything changed when they received a cryptic message from a long lost colony on a remote exoplanet, Acheron. The transmission was strange, distorted, like a broken signal. But there was one thing that stood out. It had been used in a sequence only known to a very specific group, an underground organization dealing with deep space relics. Maya had been particularly enthusiastic about this mission, suggesting they may investigate further. Jason, still green and eager to prove himself, didn't question her. Derek seemed unusually excited too, even though they didn't know much about the group behind the transmission. "We'll be legends if we pull this off," Maya had said, her eyes sparkling. "A chance to discover something truly ancient." Jason had believed her, trusting the warmth in her voice, the camaraderie of their friendship. After all, they had shared so much together. But something felt off as the Nomad descended into Acheron's desolate surface. The planet was barren, with only ruins and remnants of an ancient civilization buried beneath the red sands. Still, they set up camp, and that's when the truth came crashing down. Jason was working late in the communications room, trying to decode the message further, when he overheard a conversation through the wall. It was Maya's voice, hushed but urgent. It reached him. "Are you sure the payout is worth it? We'll be here for months." Derek's voice responded, "Of course. Once we extract whatever's buried here, the contract's finalized, and we'll be paid more than enough to retire. But don't forget, this was your idea, Maya, and you wanted to find the artifact first. Now we're going to make a fortune." Jason froze. The words pierced him like 1,000 needles. His friends, the people he thought he could trust, weren't interested in discovery or adventure. They were just after a payday. But worse, they had only included him in their mission because they needed someone with his skills to crack the code and unlock the artifact's location. Suddenly it all made sense. The nights of camaraderie, friendly laughs, shared meals, they had all been a facade, a well-crafted performance. Maya and Derek hadn't cared about him. They had cared all they could do for him. Heart pounding, Jason stumbled back, his mind reeling. He'd been naive, but couldn't ignore the truth now. The so-called friends had played him. In a haze of betrayal and anger, he stormed into the mess hall where Maya and Derek were seated, laughing over drink. "Did you honestly think I would not find out?" Jason demanded, his voice shaky but loud. Maya looked up, her smile faltering. "Jason, what are you talking about?" "The artifact contract," Jason spat. "You only brought me along to crack the code, didn't you? You never cared about me. You never cared about this mission. You just needed a pawn to get what you wanted." Derek's face twisted into something cold and calculating. "Jason, you're being dramatic. We needed you, that's all. You're good at what you do, but you don't get sentimental on us on now. We're not a charity. Maya's gaze turned sharply added. It was just business, nothing personal. Jason felt his chest tighten. All these months of shared experiences, of what he thought were genuine connections, had all been reduced to a mere transaction. He had been a tool, nothing more. Commander Sophia, who had been quietly observing from the doorway, stepped forward. You should have known, Cole, she said quietly. In this business, trust is earned with credits, not words. They're right. It's not personal. It's just how things work out here. Jason turned to her face, his mind in a whirl. You knew? She nodded. You weren't ready for the truth. I protected you from it, but now you know. The cold realization hit him hard. The commander had let him believe in something that did not exist, perhaps because she thought he needed to learn the hard way. But he couldn't blame her. Out here, the fringes of space, humanity had long forgotten the meaning of loyalty or friendship. It's all about survival and money. Turning away from the table, Jason made his way to the airlock. He stood at the threshold. His fingers brushed the cold metallic surface of the ship's door. He wasn't sure where he'd go or what he'd do next, but one thing was clear. There was no place for trust in the darkness of space. As the door hissed behind him, Jason stepped into the unknown, alone. The end.